this morning on SGMD. We're taking a closer look at a man who has fascinated me ever since I was a medical student. When I was just learning how to be a doctor, America was getting its first look at this. It's the invention of Dr. Jack Kevorkian. It's an invention to assist people who want to commit suicide. With regard to the things that most people know Jack Kevorkian for, do you have any regrets about any of that?
No. It's your purpose, physician. How can you regret helping a suffering patient?
University of Michigan, where we both learned how to be doctors. I was the class of 1993, and he the class of 1952. One of the first things he told me was, "I'm not sentimental." And then we found his old class picture.
There you are. There I am. There he is. He's dead. He's dead. He's dead. He's a good friend of mine.
Is it nostalgic for you?
Well, it re-evokes memories, yeah.
As your life has gone on, ever wonder what the folks on this picture would have thought of what you're doing, what you did?
Oh, yeah. When I first did the first case, first of all, they thought I stigmatized the class. And one of the classmates said that I should be put in prison for life.
Do you think over the last 10 years, 20 years, hospice care has improved? Pain management has improved?
After we started working, it really improved.
Do you think it was in part because of you?
Well, what do you think created the pain clinics all over?
Well, but was that the right, I mean, that seems like a good outcome, right? I mean, treat people's pain.
That's if you want to keep living, and some people don't.
So anybody who doesn't want to continue living should have that option?
If he's suffering.
Did you ever tell anybody no?
Oh, 4 out of 5.
And what was your rationale for saying no?
After consulting with them, they needed more treatment. We had to have their mental capacity evaluated. We had the patient get their medical records. Luckily, there was a law passed where they had the right to do that. We get their records and go through everything in detail, see what they've done so far, see what the doctors and the specialists say. Is there more to be done? Or is this terminal?
So they had to be terminal?
No.
They could, I mean, there has been some studies, as you know, and I wondered what you thought of them, but in one of the studies out of Colorado, they said of 75 patients that they looked at, of yours, 5 of them had no evidence of disease.
The original diagnoses, though, were by other doctors.
Did that bother you when you read that it could be possible that 5 people had no evidence of disease?
No, there was, how about a quadriplegic? He's not terminal. Would you want to be quadriplegic?
I don't think anybody would want to, but I'm not sure I'd want to die.
Okay, I would. There's a difference. I would not want to live with a tube in my neck and not be able to move a finger. I wouldn't, that to me is not life. Like, who's this physicist?
Stephen Hawking? Well, that's a good example.
Now he's very admired for what he's doing. I don't admire him for that. I admire him for what he did and his brain when he thinks, when he comes up with his thinking. But I don't admire him because he wants to keep living.
You think he should have died?
No, I should have died. He chooses to live. That's fine. But if he chose to die, I would agree with it. Autonomy is the key.
But people don't always know what they want, Dr. Kevorkian.
Oh, they know what they want. They know what they want. But your feelings, your instincts tell you that. You know what you want.
But we've all made bad decisions in times of suffering.
Well, sure, but that doesn't mean you don't know what you want.
When you started medical school here, this is part of the reason we decided to come to Ann Arbor. When you started here, did you have some of these thoughts then that you have now?
No. I really didn't even want to go to college after I graduated from high school.
Right.
And the first thing I wanted to be in life when I was a kid, and I was good at it, was announcing baseball games. You know?
Is that right?
I mean, that's what I wanted to be, a baseball announcer. And then when I got to high school, I got good grades in high school, honor student and all that, but no direction, no mission, you know. And my dad said, well, look, he said, try it for just a semester and see how you like it or not. So that's why I went to college.
Well, what did you tell people? They must have asked you at some point why you want to go to medical school.
Sure. I switched I had 1 semester of engineering, and I didn't like it. And so I decided, what can I do? Well, medicine looked promising. It has honor, glory, the so-called noble profession, you know, so-called.
You say so-called noble profession.
Yeah, it's not noble.
When you're a medical student or during your training, did you ever keep someone alive? Someone who was going to die?
Well, we just followed orders. You had no choice. I saw cases that never should have been kept alive, never, as an intern especially. So I sensed that euthanasia was necessary. And so I didn't do anything about it because I knew it was illegal, and I knew you'd be criticized, and you'd be called a quitter, you know, nothing positive about it. But I knew it was not necessary. You see this terrible example of a human being, all misshaped, miscolored, suffering, you know, helpless. I remember especially in a state hospital seeing a child with hydrocephalus. And I never saw one before. And the whole body was about this long. And you know how long the body was without the head? The head was this long, like a balloon full of water lying flat. The head was kind of, you know, lying flat, like it's ready to bust. Then I realized that there are some cases that should not be kept alive, but I never said it publicly.
If you're setting up this device,
Yes.
the patient's been evaluated, but ultimately they're going to make this decision. Does a doctor have to be present when this happens?
No, he has to do it. That's like saying, well, we can't have you a heart transplant without a doctor present.
You think it's the same thing?
Not be present, do it. That's what's wrong with these laws we have now. Oregon, Montana, and Washington, that's not euthanasia. A doctor can't do it. The patient's got to take the pill himself. Now, if he can't move, he can't have it. If he can't swallow, he can't have it.
What's happening in Oregon right
It's
now?
wrong.
You think it's wrong?
Of course it's wrong. That's not medical service.
And when we come back, there's something else that Dr. Kevorkian told me that really came as a shock. It's it.
I personally know 3 people, 2 personally, the other through contact, correspondence. Highly intelligent men, retired, former executives, CEOs, not sick, not in pain, not depressed, who tell me all point blank, I'm going to end it. There's just nothing left to live for. All my friends are gone, my family is gone, nothing left to live for.
You're saying anybody who wants to end their life, and these 2 people that you're
No.
talking about, though, that they're perfectly healthy.
I'm not saying that.
What exactly are you? What
You
should
can't
happen
take a
to that person?
teenager who wants to end his life because